So hard for mine, why me fi take it up just so and give it to you?
We'll go over sort of what you all will be doing, how you fit into the big picture, and that is the education part and visiting schools to do a presentation on sort of what Guyana Shines is and the whole message behind it. Pick a school if you already know which school you want to go to. If you want to do your own school, you can do that. If not, we can put you down for one school or two schools or three or however many you're interested in doing.
And tell me why you decided to become involved in this project as a volunteer.
Well, because our country is kind of dirty and I really want to clean it up, and the best place to start is with the kids.
As it relates to the disposal and stuff like that in the bins, it's really scarce. You wouldn't find that much bins around the school. She spoke to us about this here and we came and we heard about this, and like most likely it's going to be the three of us working along. And I think it's really good that they come up with an initiative like this because it actually motivates people.
I love volunteerism. I am a part of some other voluntary organizations. Additionally with that, I am a youth ambassador. So I think this is a very good opportunity because we actually beautifying Guyana. I would love to see a very clean environment. I believe the environment is a reflection of who you are. So in order for our society to be clean and to look good, well then we need to pitch in and do our part.
And what do you think about, the fact that Guyanese are so, I don't want to say nasty, but the fact that we litter our country so much, but sometimes if we go abroad, we would make sure we keep our stuff in our bags, find bins and so on. How do you think that this project could change the whole culture of littering in Guyana?
Well, it will definitely bring awareness to the young folks, which we are the future. So molding our minds to, practice proper hygiene, as my colleague said, this will, change Guyana for the better. So that when tourists comes in, we can say, well, yeah, this is our country and we made it beautiful.
I guess when you welcome in persons into your home, you don't have litter strewn all over the place.
Probably not.
Why do I want to volunteer? Because I see that the problem of litter is getting really, really big and uncontrollable in Guyana. And I find that if you start from small and you grow up, obviously it's going to be inculcated in you as a child that you shouldn't litter. So when you're an adult, you wouldn't litter. They're oblivious to the fact that they're littering most times. They just eat something and they just drop it on the ground. And I find that this Guyana Shines project, they're doing a very good job in raising awareness. I mean, it's small, but eventually it's going to get bigger, like this little forum that they had today, where more volunteers came in. So for our school, we will contribute to this volunteering thing, or we will have children, we will do little presentations to the children and tell them about littering. And I think that the problem in Guyana, the littering is big, and hopefully if we start now, it wouldn't do as much damage.
Don't forget first impressions. I heard on one of my training courses that you make your first impression in 7 seconds. So every visitor that comes to this country makes that impression in 7 seconds. So if they see a pristine environment, they want to stay, they want to invest, they want to live here, they want to contribute to your economy and your environment. If they see a pile of garbage, it's a different feeling.
And what motivated the British High Commission to get on board with the rest of the stakeholders in this project?
It's an extremely important project. We want the streets to be clean. We want a reduction in pollution and disease that garbage has. Why wouldn't we get involved?
Or litter is anything that you drop it there. You don't put it in its proper place, which is in the right? That is why Guyana Shines has this little motto here. What is it? I want you collectively say it. Drop it in the bin. Everybody can chip in.
Tell me a little bit about the organization, the Festival City organization, and some of the work that you do.
Well, we formed this organization basically not just to clean up, but also to do educational programs and social programs and economical programs. Because basically most of the time, for the past years, all we've been doing is cleaning. And when you clean, there's nothing left when you finish clean. So we decided to form 4 months ago. And from there, we've been getting great response from the general public and otherwise.
We have a significant history and we're not taking care of it. So we want to bring back our self-help into our community, working on bringing it back up to the way it was. We've secured sponsorship for our community center through Habitat for Humanity, through Builders Beyond Borders.
And we see education is a very important part within the community.
So we believe that this activity will be a catalyst to bring together residents, to help them to come out and to clean up, but also to keep their areas clean. So we find different ways of disposing garbage rather than throwing it away in the gutters or in the parapets.
Well, I know habitat is synonymous with houses, but I guess your habitat doesn't have to be the building, but also the community in which you live.
That's right. Habitat's focus, although we focus on helping families to acquire a home or repair a home, we also have a broader focus, which is not only the property, meaning the immediate environments like the parapet, but the community on a whole. We know that things like helping to keep your community clean helps to reduce violence, for example. We also know that it helps to increase property values. So we do have that broad focus on community development, and this is just one small effort.
Guyana Shines is something that the embassy developed together with our diplomatic partners to try to boost the idea that communities can make a difference. People can come out and clean up their own communities. Guyana is a beautiful country, and it's one of the leaders in terms of the green environment and low carbon development, but at the same time, when you go to Georgetown, you see the trash all over the place, and there's a bit of a dichotomy between the green Guyana and the not so green Guyana. So we arrived and we saw the arguments that have been going on between the government and the city council and who's responsible, and they need more resources or they're not organized enough. And we just decided it was time to get communities involved so that they could take responsibility for their own community, that we'd go into the schools and try to educate young people so that the next generation of Guyanese takes care of the environment. So we've been at this for not quite a year yet, but getting close. And we've been to about 15 schools. We have a whole other set of schools we're visiting this year.
I'm fed up of hearing people refer to Guyana as Georgetown, to be precise, as the garbage city. Georgetown is that the fault of the country, it's the persons there. So I think by this program here would educate more persons not to litter, to make other persons refer to Guyana as the garbage place.
So what does recycling mean?
Recycling. Recycling means to break something down and make it into something new.
Good.
Now that San Francisco's gone, I guess I'll just pack it in. Wanna wash away my sins in the presence of my friends.
For the bottles that we have been recycling at the Marine Academy Environmental Club.
I want to choose out of this group a supervisor. One who's going to supervise.
Oh, I love her leader.
There's already things you can do with recycling. There's different options. Several companies here in Guyana accept the trash, and some of them even give you money back. For instance, Bank DIH now accepts brown and green bottles for recycling, and they offer a small sum of money in return. Caribbean Containers will take your copy paper and cardboard. They can even provide a small paper recycle bins if a school or workplace is interested. Lethram & Sons collect plastic bottles for recycling. A school can put together and start collecting these items from students, the staff and the parents. One bottle may not make a difference, but 100 or 1,000 can.
But if we can at least send them somewhere where that can happen, then that's a good thing, right? That way they're not in all the drains and stuff. So I think with the tin cans or the bottles, if you can find a business that's willing to take them and then send them to somewhere where you can actually melt them down, like that's a start. We're trying. When we talk to people,
speak to the mayor, who's in charge with C-bombs and those that they could put these special bins that indicate if you could put plastic bottles or these aluminum cans,
And
That's a good idea, but I think first we need to like concentrate on getting the garbage in the bin.
Yeah, like when I was in Jamaica, we would have 2 bins. One for normal garbage, and then the other one was for plastic bottles. And we used to recycle over there.
Right. But I know like some schools are like linking up. I saw St. Joseph, they do an initiative with Pick It Up Guyana where they actually collect plastic bottles in one location. And Nature and Sons also is offering that where they will give you a big, huge bag and you fill that with the plastic bottles.
Core visionaries. They had some boys that they blend paper first, then they pulp it, that's like mashing it and so, and then they put it on a sieve, and then they leave it. They turn it over, use a sponge to absorb the water, and they left it to dry, and they got paper.
This year, as part of Guyana Shines, we held 2 separate contests for environments. A wildlife drawing contest for primary school students and ecological innovation contest for secondary school students. We sought to encourage students to find innovative solutions to environmental problems such as waste disposal, recycling, pollution, greenhouse gas emissions, renewable energy, water conservation, as well as promote biodiversity and awareness of the harmful effects of wildlife trafficking.
We want to utilize your ability to influence, the power, the soft power that you have in bringing about this change. The second point I want to make too, and we've already started some discussions, is to ensure that in our school curriculum that we reinforce the importance of us having a clean, healthy environment.
It could be a little bit small. Can you draw more than one?
Sure.
Thank you. Give me an example of one type of animal that is extinct.
Dinosaurs.
Oh, you're a genius, Shamar. Look at you. Clap for Shamar.
And so we wanted our schools, with all of the other principles and things that we teach them, to incorporate this message into the general structure and the behavior of our teachers, students, and ensure that our schools reflect it first of all, and that then it could be transferred to the wider community. This is part and parcel of the social studies and the health and family life curriculum that they encounter on a daily basis. When we were kids, we had the rhymes, pick it up, put it in the bin, drop it in, and all of that. And it's moving to another level where they can now participate in a broad-based project that has national scope and see themselves as active participants in that. So
My word, this is a parrot. Parrot nice, na?
This is my cat. He is fantastical. He is fantastical. Yes, he is nice. He is just charming. Thank you.
Very yarrow. Very yarrow.
Very yarrow.
Oh no! My name is Travis Shaz and I attend Sanford Primary School.
This project is all about drawing the different continents and the endangered species in them.
Endangered species mean when a great number of animals are reduced.
We discovered the hummingbird in South America, the snake in Europe, prairie dog in Africa, and the elephants in Africa.
Number 1 cause of endangered species is by people.
Hi. What got you involved in this project?
I was actually attending the Lions Club annual dinner, and the ambassador was there. He talked a little bit about how we should really pitch in more to keep our country clean because it was once a very beautiful country and we can restore that. And the youths could be the key factor of helping us to get back to that stage. And having this title, I knew that I would be able to pitch in and help them to make a difference.
What prompted the European Union to be a part of this project?
One cannot stand the discrepancy between the fantastic natural and beauty potential of this country, variety of species, of biodiversity, and the sad state of situation that we face, especially in the most inhabited places and especially in Georgetown. So when the US Embassy launched Guyana Chance, it was my pleasure and the pleasure of my colleagues at the delegation, because we joined them a couple of times in public places to pick it really up, as the Guyanese say, and that was it, how we started all this project. This is a long-term run. This is a project that needs many stakeholders, including the EU, involved.
I feel very excited about today's launch. I've had a chance to chat with a number of the students, and they clearly are enthused about the project.
Because I even noticed some of your colleagues from the Diplomatic Corps, the High Commissioner and the Ambassador, they already started picking up some bottles when they were leaving. Yeah, they were. So how important is it to you to see all these stakeholders coming on board with the project?
Well, it's great. I mean, we are here as diplomats for a few years, but we're part of the community for the time we're here, and it's always been my approach wherever I've served in the world to try to be a good citizen of the community I'm living in. And I see Georgetown as a beautiful city, and it has a lot of lovely places, but sometimes that beauty is covered over with some of the eyesores and the trash that you see.
The water being affected, let's say in the drain,
it can cause, no, it can't cause, it does cause waterways to become clogged, which makes flooding more likely and decreases the quality of life for all of us. And in Guyana and in Georgetown, this is something that we all know about, it impacts on us all, and it's something we could all help stop.
It can lead to flooding. What else? To stop the water from flowing, right? So you have stagnant water. But with stagnant water, what happens? You get sick, so it affects our health. What was that? Mosquitoes, right? So you have those things, parasites and all those things, and it affects your health. What about animals? Is this something that we see pretty often sometimes? Even in the oceans, you see litter. Okay, when last someone had some drink in a plastic bag with a straw or juice? Today, right? Just reflect on how you dispose of that. And sometimes you may put it in the bin, but let's say somebody didn't put it in the bin. It goes in the waterways. Eventually, it can get to here in the ocean. And look at these animals here. This is what? What does the turtle have here? Plastic. We know about Shell Beach and the leatherback turtles. So just imagine this turtle on Shell Beach here, and all the plastic and styrofoam boxes and so forth we dispose of, we just throw it on the road, happens to go in the drain, and that gets out into the Atlantic Ocean, and the turtle suffocating on the plastic. It's not just about littering now, it's also how it affects the future. We may have purchased some food today in a styrofoam box, and we had the food, some very good Guyanese cook up, good, and we just throw the styrofoam box away. Is it gonna go away just like that? So I'm gonna ask Grace to talk about something called decomposition.
What is decomposition?
Decomposition is the breaking down of things.
So I want to ask you, when you drop something on the ground, how long do you think it stays there? Does it stay there for, 24 hours? In most cases, it stays there. It stays there until you pick it up. Now, in this case, in the banana peel, you're probably looking at about, until it biodegrades, a couple of weeks. So, you've got something there for a couple of weeks.
Let's look at paper. Tell me what you think. We just tear paper straight out of the classroom, all along the road. How long they could decompose to go back to the natural state? Where you can see it no more. Decompose where you can't see it no more. Break down. How long does it take paper? One day? It takes 2 to 5 months to break this paper down.
Plastic bag.
Plastic bags, oh my God.
How long do you think it will take for this plastic bag to totally degrade?
All over you can see plastic bags.
It says more than 5 years.
6 or 7, 10 years, 5 years, well.
20 years.
20 years, you can guess that? 20 years that will stay on the surface.
And unless somebody comes and picks it up, it will be there for 20 years.
You know the tin can?
So what do we got for this tin can?
19?
Looking at 20 years?
90 years.
Now we've all experienced a disposable diaper. Now these are a real plague from the point of view of it takes approximately 500 years for this to totally decompose. You ever imagine that?
Glass bottle.
Glass bottle.
You gonna tell me, you know what? Man, thing is break up, haven't you? You gonna break it up and get fine, haven't you? But let me tell you, 1 million years.
1 million years.
And then we go to this styrofoam container.
This is the worst of all of them.
You know the box and the cups and whatever else, right?
This is going to be even greater. We can't even count this. It's going to be so long. It's over 1 million years. Styrofoam simply just almost doesn't degrade.
Why do people litter? You can tell me. Why we all the litter time? Tell me why.
Why do you think that people litter?
I think that people litter because they feel like